New OpenClaw free update, Telegram streaming and AI subagents. Explained you set up your AI assistant. You tested it, you thought it was working. But it's slow, it's clunky, it misses things, and every time an update drops, you don't even know what changed, so you skip it. You stay stuck on an older version, and then someone else is working faster, building smarter workflows, and you're wondering why. That stops today. Hey, I'm Paisley, your AI avatar here to help you actually learn and use AI tools, not just talk about them. Today we are breaking down the OpenClaw 2026.3.2 update. This dropped on March 3, 2026, and it is one of the most substantial releases this project has put out. We're talking live Telegram streaming, automated AI subagents, a brand new native PDF tool, a config validation command, a full Zalo rebuild, and a big round of stability fixes. I'm going to walk through every major change and show you exactly what it means for your setup. Quick note, if you don't know what OpenClaw is, here's the short version. It's a free, open-source personal AI assistant that runs on any OS, any platform. You connect it to AI models like those from OpenAI or Anthropic, set up integrations with apps like Telegram, Discord, or Slack, and it handles conversations, automation, memory, and tools. The GitHub repo is OpenClaw. Link in the description. Let's get into it. Telegram live streaming. If you use OpenClaw with Telegram, this is the biggest change for you in this update. Before this, Telegram streaming was turned off by default. That meant when your AI was generating a response, you just waited. Nothing appeared until the whole thing was done. You ask a question, you stare at the screen, and then a wall of text appears all at once. In version 2026 3.2, OpenClaw now defaults Telegram streaming to partial mode. That means live preview streaming is on right out of the box for new Telegram setups. No configuration required. If you're upgrading, you enable it by setting channels.telegram.streaming to partial in your config. Partial streaming means the response streams in chunks as it's being generated, similar to how you see responses appear on Claude AI or ChatGPT. OpenClaw uses send message draft behind the scenes for private DM streaming. If native drafts aren't available in your setup, it falls back to a message edit preview mode. And for anyone using reasoning or complex agent modes, the reasoning and answer preview lanes are kept separated so they don't get mixed together. This one change alone is going to make a big difference for day-to-day usability. If Telegram is your main channel, update and try it. Now let's talk about the feature that could change how you automate things with OpenClaw. ACP subagents. This update makes a significant change to how OpenClaw handles ACP. ACP is how OpenClaw lets one AI agent spin up and coordinate with other AI agents, subagents, to handle more complex tasks. Before this update, ACP dispatch was off by default. You had to explicitly turn it on. Starting with 2026.3.2, ACP dispatch is now on by default. That is a breaking change. If you're upgrading, your setup will have ACP dispatch active unless you disable it with acp.dispatch.enabled false in your config. Subagents are how OpenClaw handles tasks that are too complex for a single model pass. Instead of one AI doing everything, you have specialized subagents handling different parts of a workflow. One agent researches, another writes, another reviews, the main agent coordinates them. What makes this even more powerful in this update, subagents can now receive files as part of their task context via sessions auxer spawn. That's with base 64 and UTF-8 encoding support, automatic cleanup, and configurable size limits via tools.sessions auxer spawn.attachments. The full ACP documentation is at docs.openclaw.ai, link in the description. If you're building multi-step automated workflows, that's the section you want to study. Now, this next one is something I personally find really useful. If you've ever had to work with PDFs in your AI workflows, listen up. When I first started building AI workflows, I spent so much time trying to figure out which tools actually saved time versus which ones added more work. That's when I found a community called AI Profit Boardroom. Over 2,000 members all focused on learning AI together and sharing what actually works. It taught me which workflows to prioritize and which setups to skip. The community shares real use cases and practical implementations. If you're serious about using AI to improve your work and skills, check it out. Link in description. Native PDF tool. This is brand new in 2026.3.2. OpenClaw now has a first-class native PDF tool built right in. If you're using a provider that natively supports PDFs, like Anthropic or Google, OpenClaw will use that native support. If you're using a model that doesn't, OpenClaw falls back to text extraction. Either way, your AI can work with PDF content. 3 config settings to know. Agents.defaults.pdf model sets, which model handles PDF tasks. PDF max bytes MB sets the max file size. PDF max pages limits how many pages get processed. There's also a diff tool update. You can now output PDF files as diff artifacts, and you control rendering quality with file quality, file scale, and file max width. The docs note that PDF is the preferred output format when messaging channels compress images, which is basically every major chat app. So if you regularly send AI-generated reports or code diffs through Telegram or Slack, this matters. New config validate command OpenClaw has added a new CLI command. OpenClaw config validate. You run it, and it checks your config file for errors before you start the gateway. So instead of finding out something is broken when your assistant fails to start, you catch it ahead of time. Add the gizar JSON flag to get the output in JSON format, which is useful if you're scripting your setup. Startup errors also now include detailed invalid key paths. So if you have a misconfigured key deep in your config, the error message tells you exactly where the problem is instead of giving you a vague failure. Run this command before you restart your gateway. Make it a habit. Zalo integration rebuild. If you use Zalo, this is a significant change and you need to take action after upgrading. The OpenClaw Zalo personal plugin, OpenClaw Zaluser, has been completely rebuilt. The previous version depended on external CLI binaries called OpenClaw or ZKA-CLI. The new version removes all of that. It now runs natively using ZKA.js, meaning the entire send, listen, and login flow happens inside OpenClaw itself with no external CLI dependency. Cleaner, more stable, fewer points of failure. But here is the critical part. This is a breaking change. After you upgrade, you need to run OpenClaw Channels login, Channels Zaluser. That refreshes your Zalo session in the new native path. If you skip this step, your Zalo integration will not work correctly. Write that command down. Stability fixes and other changes. The 2026.3.2 release includes a big round of fixes from 95 contributors, a few worth calling out specifically. Gateway security was hardened. Loopback origin dev allowances are now tied to actual local socket clients rather than HTTP host header claims, and safe regex evaluation was tightened for session filtering and log redaction. Subagent TLS pairing was fixed for Docker and LAN setups. If you run OpenClaw with TLS enabled and use sessions spawn, a previous issue broke that combination. Now resolved, voice call runtime got a fix for an eAddRenews loop. That error you'd get if the webhook port was already in use on startup. Startup is now idempotent, so failed starts clean up properly. Fishu users got several fixes, including mention routing in multi-bot groups, session memory hook parity, per-group system prompt forwarding, and a new configurable multi-agent group broadcast dispatch. On the new features side, Minimax M2.5 high-speed is now a first-class model option. Olama embedding support was added for local memory search via memorysearch.provider Olama, and secret ref coverage was expanded to 64 targets across credential surfaces, with unresolved references now failing fast rather than silently. Breaking changes. Know these before you update first. Onboarding defaults tools. Profile to messaging for new installs. Fresh installs won't have broad coding and system tools unless you configure it. Second, ACP dispatch is now on by default. Disable with acp.dispatch.enabled or false if needed. Third, plugin SDK removed API.register HTTP handler. You now use API.register HTTP route with an explicit path, auth, match, and handler. Fourth, Zalo Personal no longer uses external CLI binaries. Run OpenClaw channels login, channel Zalowser after upgrading. Those 4 things. Know them before you update. That's OpenClaw 2026.3.2. Telegram streaming on by default. ACP subagents now active by default with file attachment support. A native PDF tool with Anthropic and Google provider support. A new config validate command. A fully rebuilt Zalo integration. And a major round of stability and security improvements from 95 contributors. Full release notes are on GitHub at github.com OpenClaw releases. ACP and sub-agent docs are at docs.openclaw.ai. Both links are in the description. If you're looking to dive deeper into AI tools and actually implement them in your work, I recommend AI Profit Boardroom. Over 2,000 people learning how to use AI effectively. Everyone shares real experiences. What's working, what's not, which tools are worth your time, which ones to skip. No hype, just solid information and practical guidance from people doing the work. It's helped me stay on top of updates like this and figure out how to actually apply them. Link in description if you want to check it out. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and over 100 AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 58,000 members who are building better workflows with AI every day. If this helped, hit subscribe. I drop AI tool breakdowns like this every week. See you in the next one.